So I am Michael Paul-Holland. I have been a Benedictine for 42 years, father of 3 sons, 2 of whom rest in the arms of God. I'm a retired high school teacher, so you already know I can talk longer than you can remain conscious. This is my 18th year of my priesthood. I function as a spiritual director. I've been in a recovery, recovering from a drug addiction, 8 years now clean. Thank you. Yeah, it's easier than you think when you finally surrender and make a life that you love more than drugs. Someone should have told me that 20 years ago. I've also been working as a recovery specialist in a rehab center, which if you had told me that when I was in a rehab, I would have laughed you out of off the property. I'm 67 years old, and I was just saying last night at Cassie's place that I feel like I should be more wise and have more life lessons under my belt than I do. But it is what it is. It's a process, right? Progress, not perfection, as they say. But there are a few things that I do know for sure, 100%. The first thing is that guilt and shame are not gospel values. Forgiveness has to happen, and it has to start with forgiving ourselves, because we are terrible with ourselves, most of us. I fight this battle with my clients daily. Right? They can't forgive other people because they don't think they're worthy of forgiveness. So that I know for sure. That's one thing. The second thing I know that I've learned over a long, complicated life, we are all broken, but we're broken together. And in that brokenness, as one of my spiritual directors said one time when I was just weeping in her office, and I said, "I'm so broken." And she said, "Michael, that's how the light gets in." I believe that. And the light that gets in is the presence and the power of the risen Christ. So we have everything we need within us. We just need to tap into that power. I know that for sure. The third thing I know, absolutely certain of, you and I are God's plan for the salvation of the world. We are plan A. And there isn't a plan B. It's on us. The last thing I know, absolutely certain, love will always win. We just need to keep ourselves in check, kind of piggybacking on what Cassie said in her message this morning, right? A quick little story. So I'm at church. My church happens to be on the wrong side of the tracks in a very poor, economically depressed area, racially mixed. We have many ministries that, we reach out into that neighborhood and all of that. But when you go out in public and you're wearing your uniform, your God uniform, people want your cash. Quite often, right? And so I don't normally carry cash because that usually got me in trouble with drug dealers because I got cash and you have something I want, so maybe we could be friends. So I don't carry cash. And I'm leaving church one Sunday after morning service, and a woman comes walking in the side door, and I thought to myself, oh no. Someone forgot to lock that door. Here we go. Here we go. she is going to want some money or something. And she came and she said, "Are you the pastor?" And I was like, "Yep, here we go." I said, yes, I'm the pastor." She said, "Well, I just moved into this neighborhood, and my mama taught me that whenever you move, you go to the nearest church and you make a donation, and I'm wondering if it would be okay if I gave you this $40. And I thought to myself, I am a complete jerk right now. It's those automatic thoughts, right? We need to pay attention to those, because on a good day, I can be the Michael Paul that I was born to be. But then those other days, that first instinct is to be less than loving. So we've got to keep ourselves in check if love is going to win the day. Because there's not going to be world peace if I don't have peace in myself, if you don't find peace in yourself. I can't fix what's going on in Ukraine, as an example. I served as a subdeacon in a Ukrainian parish. I love the Ukrainian people. I love the food. They're the most hospitable, beautiful people that I know. My heart breaks for them. I can't fix that. But if there's war going on in my heart, then I am contributing to that global warfare. There's no justice for our world if I am going to judge people coming into my church building because they're different or they happen to have more of a tan than I have. That's not going to work if I'm going to still cling to my own judgment and my prejudices, and I fight that battle all the time, to be honest. And there's no authentic spiritual community possible if we are not willing to surrender everything that we are and everything we think we know. That much I know. So often when I have looked over the past 67, almost 68 years of my life, I have tried to wheedle-deedle and play hide-and-seek with God. And even though I'm saying the right words, what I've really been saying was, actually, Lord, how about if my kingdom come? My will be done. It's going to be great, I promise you. I got this thing. So that's all I know. 68 years of living, but maybe some of those gems have come down to me through some important teachers. This journey that we are on together, I, to be honest, was overwhelmed. I called Bishop Marty. We had this talk. I was standing at the top of a bridge ready to leap into the water, but we're having a drought, so it was just sandbar. And I hung up the phone, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be okay. And then I had a good cry. But that's how God works sometimes, right? This community is a miracle. I don't know if you appreciate that about yourselves enough. It's a miracle. So it's my privilege to be your Bishop Elect. I hope to step into that role and grow into that role as God would have me do that. And I think together we can make a difference in this world. But it all comes down to this inner work, right? Because if we're not going to do this, then all of this is in vain. Thank you.